On Monday, we talked about circles, and I showed you the difference between a radius and a diameter. So quick little review. A radius is like when it's just half of the line, doesn't go all the way across the circle. And the diameter is, yes, it goes from one side of the circle all the way to the other side of the circle, okay? So if the radius is 5 and the diameter is 10, if the diameter is 14, then the radius is 7, right? So that's what we went over on Monday. And then we learned about circumference, and we learned about what pi is. Pi is 3.14, and circumference we had a formula for, right? So today, we're still going to be talking about circles. So today's date is 4/28/21. And make sure you grab your notebook, copy this down. We're going to be talking about the area of a circle. Area of a circle. Now, what is area? Well, you guys have been finding area of like a bunch of different shapes out in your math career. You guys have found like the area of a square, area of a triangle, things like that. When it comes to area of a circle, very similar to all your other shapes, we are talking about the inside part, okay? Area is like the inside, okay? Circumference is when we walk around, kind of like if we were walking around the park or walking around our neighborhood, we go around the edge, right? Area is like the inside part, okay? The formula, so there's a brand new formula.
No. Todos estos pendejos.
Shall we continue to listen in to see like what like stuff they're saying? Or should we play? Hey, Stephanie, did you want to say something to the class, or are we just supposed to listen into your conversation? I mean, it's cool either way. I am recording this, so I guess we could just all listen in. No. Okay, cool. So the formula for the area of a circle is area is equal to pi. Okay, so we've done pi before. We know what pi is. Times r, so the radius, not the diameter, squared. What does that mean? So for the area, you're going to need the radius. So you're going to need the radius is when it's like half the line. That is the radius. Okay, that's what we're going to use. When it's the whole line, you're going to cut it in half. But the radius is half, okay? And you know what pi is. Pi is 3.14, always. Okay, now when we talk about radius squared, that means, just a refresher, a reminder. If I tell you it's 4 squared, what's 4 squared mean? That means 4 times 4. 4 times 4. It doesn't mean 4 times 2. So 4 times 4 is 16. So 4 squared is 16. What if the number was 9 squared? 9 squared means 9 times 9. And 9 times 9, our answer would be, what's 9 times 9? 81, right? So when we say radius squared, this is what you have to do. It's 4 squared, so 4 times 4, 9 squared, 9 times 9. All right, we don't do 4 times 2. It's not 4 times 2, guys. You take that number and you write it 2 times and you multiply it. If it's 10 squared, then that would mean 10 times 10. 10 times 10 is 100. Now, if you need a calculator, by all means, use a calculator. That's cool. Just as long as you type this number in twice and multiply it, okay? Not 10 times 2. It's 10 times 10. All right. So that's what you need to know in order to do the area of a circle. All right? What does square mean? What does a square mean? All right. Let's do a problem. Okay, let's say our radius is 5 inches. Okay? So this part of the circle is called your radius. So our radius is 5 inches. And that makes me happy because Why does a radius of 5 make me happy? Because in our formula, we're going to need R. We're going to need radius. So the radius is 5. So I'm going to plug that in. Yes, Leo, give me 1 second, okay? Radius is 5. Copy this down, and then I'll go back. Radius is 5, and we're going to square it, times, what is pi? Pi is 3.14, okay? So our formula for area is equal to pi times radius squared. So I know pi is 3.14 from Monday. Radius, I see my circle, the half a line, cool. So I'm going to use it. I'm going to put 5 squared, okay? Now, let's go back to the first page. Here we went over what squaring is, right? So if it's 4 squared, we do 4 times 4. 9 squared, 9 times 9. 10 squared is 10 times 10. So I have 5 squared, right? So 5 squared, means 5 times 5. And 5 times 5 is 25. So we have to do this part first. So the squaring is done first. So 5 squared is 5 times 5, which means 25. I'm going to bring all the way down to 3.14. Okay? This is where we grab our calculator. And we're going to go 3.14, which is pi, times 25, equals. We're going to write area is equal to 78.5 inches, because it says inches on top, but you're going to put a square on it. So when it's inches, you're going to put a square, okay? So 78.5 inches squared. That is our final answer, okay? So look at the work I'm showing. This is the work I want you to show me for classwork, for your notes. Even though part of it is done in your calculator, we are still showing Miss O'Malley what you're multiplying by. Like, oh, Miss O'Malley, look, I took 5 squared and I got 25. Awesome. And then I took 25, plugged into my calculator, plug this into my calculator, and get that as my final answer. You're still telling me the work, even though you're using a calculator. All right? All right. What if, okay, I tell you that the radius is 9 centimeters. 9 centimeters. Well, again, we're going to use our formula. Area is equal to pi r squared. So pi is 3.14 times r. R is 9 centimeters. It makes me happy because they give me the number I want, 9 squared. All right, I can look back on my first page of my notes. There it is. Oh, look, I already did the work. 9 squared means 9 times 9, and 9 times 9 is 81, right? So go here. 9 times 9 is 81 times your pi, which is 3.14, right? So the difference between like Monday's circumference and today's area is that you're gonna have to square this number. On Monday, we didn't have to square anything, right? We just used the diameter and you were done, basically. It was a lot easier than this one. This one, it is easy. Just gotta make sure you do the square first. So 3.14 times 81 equals, area is equal to 254.34 centimeters squared, right? So whatever your units is, you write it down and then you put a little square next to it. And that's it, 254.34 centimeters squared. Again, I'm showing my work. I'm telling you exactly what I'm plugging into my calculator, and that's considered showing work. All right? Now, what if I'm mean and evil and give you a circle that looks like this. 30 feet. So this has a diameter of 30 feet. So the diameter is equal to 30 feet. Guess what? I don't need that. I mean, I kind of do, but I can't use the 30. So that's how I trick you. I trick you by giving you like the diameter. We don't need the diameter. We need the radius. So if the diameter is 30, what would be the radius? Well, we got to take this number and cut it in half, divide it by 2. So 30 divided by 2 is 15. 15 feet. So this is what I need. I don't need the diameter. I need the radius. Okay? So now that I have my radius, I can use it. Area is equal to pi r squared. I mean, I like to write it down in your notes over and over again so you get used to seeing it, you get used to writing it. For the classwork, you don't, but for notes, we do write it again and again and again. So 3.14 times radius, not 30. Nope, not 30, but 15. 15 squared. But Miss O'Malley, isn't 15 squared 30? And no, it's not. You know what? I don't know what 15 square is. I know that I have to go 15 times 15. I don't know what that is. Cool, use a calculator. 15 times 15, 225 times 3.14 times 3.14 equals, area is equal to 706.5 feet squared. Okay, so again, recap. If I give you the whole line, I'm trying to trick you. Make sure you cut it in half. That's the number we're going to use to square it. Okay, and then you just times 3.14. Yes, we're always going to use 3.14. All right, are there any questions?